based on the reports, and I can speak about ESPN and Disney. So I sit here before you today letting you know that they are aware.
So he took a screenshot of a text message, which clearly had to have been written by someone else, maybe his lawyer or his PR team. It wasn't written by him. And then he shared it onto X, so people were laughing at him going, you're not supposed to share. You're supposed to make it sound like it actually was written by you.
Yo, what do you call a man who brings you into the game, then turns around and throws you to the wolves the second the block get hot? That's right. We talking about Stephen A. Smith. And this ain't no misunderstanding. This is betrayal. And Shannon Sharpe just pulled the plug on that fake friendship. Publicly. Because when your so-called brother treat Jay-Z like family but act like he ain't know you once the lawsuits hit, yeah, that's when you know the love was never real. Welcome to Snitch Files, where the drama don't hide and neither do we. We don't chase the truth, we expose it.
I know one thing. If you're 54, you have no reason to be talking to a 19-year-old. She's 22 now. Shannon is 56. I'm so glad that audio of Monique went viral yesterday.
Today, we taking you inside one of the messiest breakups in sports TV history. Shannon Sharpe versus Stephen A. Smith. What started as jokes and hot takes turned into shade, silence, and now complete ghosting. So grab your popcorn, pour that drink, and sit down. Because this ain't just about backstabbing. This is about ego, power, fake loyalty, and how fast folks switch up when the cameras go dark. Let's rewind it. Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith, on paper, a dream team. Two black men at the top of the sports media food chain co-hosting on First Take, trading fire and facts.
This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty.
Ratings were up, culture was tuned in, and the vibe, unmatched. But now, all that brotherhood, gone. And it ain't just beef over some segment or Twitter post. This right here is deeper than sports. It's about how fast folks flip the minute your name get messy. Even the ones who supposedly ride for you. Let's be real. We all got that one friend who smile in your face and talk sideways the moment you catch heat. And that's exactly what Shannon peeped with Stephen A. Because when Shannon's lawsuit made headlines, involving a 19-year-old OnlyFans model, text messages, and disturbing claims.
And he wasn't at a strip club, but his text messages have been revealed, and it's quite embarrassing for ESPN. So he used to be on First Take, and now they are putting that on ice.
Stephen A. ain't holding him down. He ain't say, that's my dog, I know his character. He hit him with the, I wasn't there. But let Jay-Z catch a case? Stephen out here like, that's not the man I know? Oh, so now we got selective loyalty? Let's break down how this whole thing spiraled. First, the moment the lawsuit news broke, Stephen A. was the first to comment, not to defend Shannon, but to shade him. Subtly, but we heard it. He was already talking like Shannon's career was a wrap, speaking in past tense, throwing subliminals, reminding folks Disney don't play.
They make money by selling this.
That's my point.
So if they're you, please believe you're paying for it. You're paying for it one way or another.
Do y'all think this was a setup or nah? Hit the comments and let me know what y'all think. Then just a few days later, Stephen flipped. Out of nowhere, now he believes Shannon is innocent. Now he's on podcasts talking about jealous people trying to take Shannon down. Boy, if you don't, this man went from calling the hit to playing the eulogy, all while pretending he ain't the one who started the whispers. And let's not forget what Mace said. Mace, who don't hold his tongue for nobody, went live calling Stephen A. flip-flopping snake. Said, how you gonna defend Jay-Z, a man you don't work with, but leave Shannon hanging when y'all sit across from each other every week? That hit deep.
And Shannon himself is dropping receipts, and I gotta say, this doesn't look good for his accuser at all.
And Shannon, he noticed. Word on the street is, Shannon Sharpe cut Stephen off cold. No texts, no calls, no explanations. Just ghosted him. And when Stephen started calling to do damage control, Shannon ain't pick up at all. Because it wasn't just about the lawsuit. It was about trust. Stephen A. been acting funny ever since Club Shay Shay started blowing up. That Cat Williams interview broke the internet. Shannon's platform was making waves outside ESPN. And folks say Stephen ain't like that. Behind the scenes, that man was salty.
And I'm getting all these texts. Shannon Sharpe has been Snow Bunny. Shannon Sharpe has been Snow Bunny. Dr. Umar, Shannon is being accused of the unthinkable.
Why? Because Shannon was starting to look like the bigger brand. See, this ain't just about Shannon and Stephen. This is about what happens when black men in power stop protecting each other in public, but pretend to dap each other up behind the scenes. Let's get real, family. We know the game. Once a black man hits that upper tax bracket, the pressure to be perfect is relentless. One slip, just one, and they coming for everything. The legacy, the bag, the name, the dignity.
They're out there releasing pages and pages of text messages. They're out there releasing audio. It looks to me like both sides are engaged in trying to litigate this in the media before litigating it in a court of law.
Now here's the kicker. They expect white-owned platforms to turn on us. But what hurts the most? When your own do it first. And that's why folks ain't just mad at Shannon's scandals. They mad at Stephen A. for setting the tone for white folks to follow. It's that energy of, well, if his own co-hosts think he guilty, then that's the kind of narrative ESPN loves, because it saves them the PR mess. Let the black friend do the distancing. Let him carry the water. And Stephen A. did just that. He didn't wait for facts. He didn't say, I know Shannon, let's wait for the process. Nah, he hit the airwaves like Disney's spokesperson.
Because it's true. Sit your old ass down and go find somebody your age and build a family with them. As I said yesterday, men, we need stability and we need discipline.
Reminding us all that this brand don't tolerate controversy. Like, bro, we know Disney's strict. We don't need you auditioning for Hall Monitor of the Year when your boy's under fire. But let's not act brand new. This is a pattern with Stephen A. He'd been pulling this move for years, from Kwame Brown to Colin Kaepernick to Kyrie Irving. Every time a black man speaks out, messes up, or just gets messy, Stephen A. is the first to jump on the mic and analyze the situation like he ain't also a product of the same system. But what's the real difference between Stephen and Shannon? Stephen figured out how to play safe. He makes his money being loud, but loyal to the network, not the people, not the culture, not the brotherhood. That's why Shannon's silence right now feels so loud. It's not just him protecting his legal case, it's him mourning a friendship that he thought was solid. Imagine being betrayed twice. First, by a system that's always waiting for you to mess up. Then, by the man who claimed he brought you in the room. That's heartbreak on national TV. And we gotta ask ourselves, what's the cost of that spotlight if the people around you only shine when you dim? Let that marinate. Shannon's name ain't ringing like it used to. The man who built a brand on being loud, proud, and unfiltered now got nothing to say. And in this game, silence is suspicious. But let's keep it 100. Shannon made choices. A grown man, 54 years old, messing with a 19-year-old. Even if it was legal, the optics are foul. And now more women stepping forward saying this ain't new. This might be a pattern. If this was your sister, what would you do? Let's talk about it. And Stephen A., he's out here acting like he a ride or die now. Doing interviews, podcasts, big boys show. All of a sudden, Team Shannon. Nah, that ain't loyalty. That's damage control. That's a man trying to save face after he already helped set the fire. Let's be honest. Stephen A. threw Shannon to the wolves, then circled back to act like he was handing him a coat. And fans see through it. They dragging him, calling him fake, saying he just using Shannon's downfall to boost his own stock. One fan said it best. Stephen A. is the dude who tells your boss you were late, just so he can take your shift. Oof. Now ESPN, dead silent. No statements, no support, no denial. And behind the scenes, brands are pulling away, quietly. Sponsorships, gone. Partnerships, vanished. And if you know how this industry works, you know what that means. They expecting Shannon to crash. They just don't want to be in the car when it happens. But you know what's wild? It ain't just about Shannon Sharpe getting thrown under the bus. It's about how Stephen A. did it so publicly, but tried to clean it up privately like folks wouldn't notice. Like we ain't got receipts. Like the internet don't remember everything. This is what betrayal in the spotlight looks like. Not some dramatic fallout in a boardroom. It's subtle, strategic. It's comments made in code, silence when it matters most, and then love bombs when the backlash hits. And real ones peeped it. Even folks behind the scenes started talking. Whispers about how Stephen been feeling insecure ever since Shannon started pulling celeb guests that ESPN could never book. Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, Steve Harvey, A-list level, on his platform. So what did Stephen do? He started poking holes in Shannon's armor. Not with direct shots, but with shade. With that passive-aggressive big brother energy that say, I made you, without ever saying it. But here's what he didn't realize. Shannon ain't Skip Bayless. He ain't built to be nobody's sidekick. That man been grinding since he left the field. Built a whole empire with Club Shay Shay. Earned his voice. Earned his platform. And now, he's watching it all shake. Not just because of the lawsuit, but because the people who were supposed to ride with him got out the car the minute the road got bumpy. It's like that old saying, you don't know who real till it get real. And now it's real. But let's not act like Shannon's just a victim here either. Nah, that part's important. Bro made choices, maybe reckless ones, maybe just bad judgment. But what he didn't expect was to be judged by his brother before the world even got the facts. And that's why this hit so personal. Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just TV chemistry. This was trust. And Stephen A. broke that. He didn't pick up the phone. He didn't say, let's talk. He went straight to the media, where he shines best, and turned Shannon's low point into content. And now he want to double back, all smiles like the damage ain't permanent. This ain't some show man's fallout. This is what happens when clout outweighs character. So now the question is, where do we go from here? Shannon's quiet, Steven's spinning, and the fans? They're choosing sides. But behind all the drama, the headlines, the YouTube breakdowns, and think pieces, there's a deeper question we gotta ask. What does it cost to be a brother in this industry? And who really pays the price when that brotherhood breaks? So here's what we know. Stephen A. Smith ain't ride for Shannon the way he rode for Jay-Z. Shannon's cut him off, cold. The lawsuits are stacking. The fans are falling back. The brand is breaking. And the silence is speaking louder than ever. Whether or not Shannon Sharpe is guilty, that's for the courts to decide. But public opinion, that verdict's already out. And Stephen A., he might have just fumbled a real friendship for the sake of media optics. This right here is a cautionary tale. About fame, about ego, about what happens when loyalty is a performance, not a principle. And trust me, we still got files open on this one. If you're still rocking with us after that bombshell, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, cause Snitch Files ain't letting this story go. We got part 2 in the vault, and it's even messier. Hit the comments. Do y'all think Stephen A. was fake from the jump? Would Shannon be treated differently if he wasn't famous? Are we watching the fall of a legend, or just the beginning of the truth? Either way, this is Snitch Files, where we don't chase the truth, we expose it. Stay locked in.